So friends, there is hardly any person in this world who has not heard the name of BMW. This company was started 105 years ago to make aircraft engines. Today BMW is known all over the world for its luxury and premium supercars. You will be surprised to know that the BMW, which we call a premium car today, has a very dangerous history. You will be surprised to know that the ancestors of this company have had a connection with Hitler's Nazi army, and because of them many innocent people have lost their lives. So friends, if you also want to know this dark history of BMW, then definitely watch our video till the end, because today we are going to expose this dark history of BMW. So let's start the video now. Hello friends, BMW started about 105 years ago in the year 1916 as an aircraft manufacturer in Germany. Like other old companies of Germany, BMW also has its own dark history, and to understand this history of BMW, we have to know the history of Germany's famous plant family, which is still the largest shareholder of BMW. You will be surprised to know that the Want family, which is counted among the richest families of Germany, was one of the most famous industrialists of Germany even 100 years ago. The story of this wealth and riches of the Want family is even before World War I, and the biggest credit for making this belt of theirs is given to this industry list named Gujar Quiet, because he laid the foundation of that industrial empire, on the basis of which even today this family remains one of the richest families of Germany. Friends, Want was born in a family living in the bread class, which used to do the business of tech manufacturing in the German Empire at that time. And for your information, let us tell you that in the First World War, the work of making uniforms for the German army was done by the Want family itself. When the First World War ended, due to this there was a hyperinflation in the world, due to which companies started getting ruined and closed, and taking advantage of this inflation, the Want account started buying different businesses of Germany at a very low price. In this way, within just 10 years, Gonda RVA Point made its the textile company was made into a big group of many different companies like electronics, crude oil, weapons and battery manufacturing. In 1958, when Gunt's wife died due to Spanish disease, 3 years later he married a girl named Magda Itza, who was 20 years younger than him. But this second marriage also did not last long, because Margaret divorced him in 1929, and you will definitely find it a little strange to know this, but this divorce proved to be the biggest turning point in the history of the country. Actually, Gunt's wife Magda Itza was going to divorce him and marry a famous Nazi politician named Horst Uth, who later became a part of the Ministry of Propaganda of Nazi Germany, and Gunt Itza took advantage of this whole matter in such a way that perhaps no one else could have even thought of. Actually, Gunt Itza, thinking about his political benefits, spoiled his relationship with his wife Magda Itza during the divorce. He did not do anything and welcomed this new relationship of his ex-wife with open heart. He even offered his mansion to the people of this zodiac sign. Well, 2 years after the divorce of Magda Teisel and Gunt Watt, on the 19th of December 1931, Magda and Joe Goyat got married, and the person who played the role of best man in their marriage was none other than the most cruel ruler in history, Adolf Hitler. For decades, he wanted to strengthen his relationship with Hitler and his Nazi party, and with this marriage, he was completely successful in doing this work, although he did not reveal his relationship with Hitler and his Nazi party in public until the Nazi party won the election in the year 1933. By winning this election, Hitler came to power, and Hitler became one of his biggest allies. After this, Hitler used 69 quality companies and factories to make weapons of war. At that time, the most successful factory in Gujarat was ATI, which used to make batteries and was used by the Nazi army. Batteries were used in making weapons like submarine tanks and even Bidu rock. Seeing this service of 69, Hitler made them economically weak in 1937, and due to this, when Hitler started his victory campaign at the beginning of the Second World War, Muckensur was at the forefront in seizing the European companies presented by the Nazi army. After this, in 1941, Muckensur started making people held captive inside these factories, and in a short time, Kundarki refactories became known in the whole of Germany for their cruelty, where people were made to work in extremely bad conditions. It is said that any person who went to work in the 69 factory once could survive for a maximum of 6 months, because due to the very bad conditions of the factory and without any protection, people became victims of things like lead poisoning and died while working there. Friends, to bridge the gap, Muckensir gave the responsibility of managing this factory to his son Erbel Plant. He was a member of his father's business at a very young age, and like his father, he was also one of the main members of the Nazi Party. As long as Hitler and his Nazi Party were in power, the golden period of Eder and his son Herbert continued, but this golden period of theirs could not last for a long time, because in the Second World War, when Hitler's army started bowing down in front of the Allies, one by one the offices of those offices started coming under the control of the soldiers of America, Britain and the Soviet Union. Friends, now you must be thinking that with the end of Hitler and his Nazi army, the war point in his business empire would also have come to an end, but you will be surprised to know that despite being one of Hitler's biggest allies, he and his son could never be proved wrong. In fact, when Hitler's army surrendered, the American soldiers put Eder in a camp in heaven where those people of Germany were imprisoned who were suspected of being allies of the Nazi Party. After keeping him in captivity for about 1.5 years, Eder was released from this camp. He was released because at that time the American soldiers could not find any concrete evidence against him that could prove any kind of link between Gunda Point and the state government, and something similar happened with Gunda Point's son Herbert, who was beheaded by the British soldiers within a few weeks after he was caught. Actually, friends, after the World War ended, the economy of Germany, the biggest party of the world, had to be brought back on track, and according to them, Gunda RBA Herbert was one of those people of Germany whose release was considered most important for the sake of Germany's economy. Friends, at that time, not only war and war, but many other industrial states of Germany, which were suspected of being allies of the Nazi Party, were released for the sake of Germany's economy. After this, when Gunda Point died in the year 1954, all the wealth of the family came into the hands of his son Herbert Point, and following in his father's footsteps, he started buying the companies running in loss at that time at a low price. He even bought BMW with this strategy. Actually, due to the World War, like most of the German companies, BMW was also struggling at that time, because during the war, many factories of BMW were bombed and the company was also banned from making cars, due to which BMW could not produce any car till 1991, and the company had to make and sell kitchen equipment to meet its expenses. Friends, overall, after the World War, the condition of BMW went from bad to worse, and by 1968, the company was on the verge of becoming a bankrupt, but then Herbert Court bought BMW, and due to his doing so, the company was saved from sinking. After this, in the year 1962, the company launched its Nikola Series BMW 1500 car, which created a stir as soon as it came in the market. So it cannot be denied at all that the biggest credit for the position that BMW is at today goes to Erbel Plant, but at the same time, the money used to make BMW cannot be forgotten. That money was earned by Herbert Plant and his father Gunther Count from profiteering from war, and in order to earn that money, who knows how many innocent people were killed. Friends, it is a matter of great surprise that the Quantity family has always hidden this dark history from the common people. People came to know about this reality for the first time when a documentary was made and released on their family in 2007. Since then, the Quantity family has presented its public apology to the people many times. Now friends, if we talk about today's time, then like 100 years ago, the Quantity Want family is counted among the richest families of Germany, in which Harry but Want's daughter Suzanne Clayton was called the richest woman of Germany with a net worth of $29 billion. At the same time, Herbert Plant's son Stefan Plant is the largest single shareholder of BMW, who is the sole owner of 22% of BMW shares. After the history of the Quantity family came to light, today many people criticize them, but friends, you tell me, why the past videos of a family are so shocking that the family is so ignorant about the richest families in Germany? To what extent is it right to punish or criticize the present generation for their qualities? Please do tell us by commenting. Don't forget to like, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time.